Live in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Hey guys, I'm so excited to have my good friend Robert Earl White with me. Get ready for an awesome show. We're going to play the intro to Buckle Up, the Paranormal project to talk about. Mute here.
Boom.
And I got this special little one too. I have to play this too. You're gonna love this, Rob.
Welcome
Check
to
this
Typical
out. I hope
Skeptic
it plays
Podcast.
right.
Be sure to like, subscribe,
right.
and turn on notifications.
Yeah. Come on.
That's awesome. That's cool.
For
Sexy
me,
little alien broad right there you got, Robert.
Here it is.
Be sure to like.
So cool, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Anyway, guys, I'm really excited about my guest today. He's a longtime friend. I've known Robert honestly on and off for like 4 or 5 years. We were in the same community together a few years back, and that's how we got to meet each other. But I wrote a little blurb about tonight. So, Robert Earl White is a longtime friend of my show, and he's a passionate investigator in the unknown. He's the creator of his new project, Paranormal Unearthed, a project dedicated to uncovering supernatural encounters and exploring the most fascinating paranormal locations in the world. From haunted hotspots to mysterious phenomena, Robert and his team bring viewers on a thrilling journey into the unknown. Robert is also the force behind the Order of Light YouTube channel, where he documents UFO phenomena and shares evidence of extraterrestrial contact. His mission is to expand awareness in paranormal and UFO realities, blending personal experience with investigation to shine light on mysterious, often hidden in the dark. Tonight, he'll be talking about his new project, Paranormal Unearthed, his experiences with haunted locations, and then also at the end, we'll dive a little bit into his his UFO research. And you can find his new channel at YouTube at Paranormal Unearthed, and then you can also follow him on his regular channel, which is YouTube at Robert Earl White, Order of Light. And with a big warm welcome, I'd like to welcome him back to the show. Robert, thanks so much for coming back on, man. How are you?
Thank you, brother. And it's been a while, and I'm so happy to be back. It's most definitely has been an adventure for you and I over the past 5 years of doing what we've been doing. And I took a very, very long break. I know most of you already probably know who I am for my UFO crash and my experiences and recording UFOs in the sky. And after so long and saying everything I've already had to said, no sense of beating a dead horse, right? Like, I've already put out my information. My UFO crash story has been the same since day one. I'm not dramatizing it. I'm not making it all fancy. I'm not going to lie. It's there. The documentation is there. I've said everything I've said. I've spent countless hours recording the sky, all sorts of aerial phenomena, mind-blowing stuff over and over and over again. I've posted enough. I feel like I've covered it all, and it's not my fault that the rest of the world is taking too long to catch up. I just want to move on to other things. And before I got into UFOs, my first love was the paranormal. My entire life, the UFO crash was at 3.5 years old. When I was a baby, my grandmother, she passed away when I was 2 years old. But she bought me when I was first born, she bought me a teddy bear that you put batteries in and you squeeze the paws and it would play music. Well, my mom got tired because in the middle of the night, I would be sleeping as a baby. I would roll over on this doll and roll on it and make the song start playing. Well, I had this teddy bear. And my grandmother passed away, like I said, when I was 2. So she's already passed away. So my mom got tired of me waking up from this teddy bear. So my mom said, I'll just remove the batteries. And that way he gets the bear. He's happy. He's not crying wanting the bear. And the music won't wake him up in the middle of the night. She removed the batteries. And don't you know that teddy bear would still play almost every single night with no batteries in it? All right. So that's when I'm like 3 years old. My entire life, I was plagued, not just by my mother being in the hybrid program and in communication with extraterrestrials. That was just one end of the spectrum. And paranormal, as you know, Robert, and everyone watching this knows, paranormal covers everything from Bigfoot, angels, demons, aliens, dimensionals, I mean, spirituality is a
What do
very
you want, Robert? I just want to say, I think, yeah, exactly like you said. I think it's all interrelated, and I think we can categorize it all under the term paranormal. A lot of times, people in the communities, they get all like, and they want to separate it. Like they'll say, "What has to be this?" It doesn't. I think it's all paranormal. It's all under that term paranormal or supernatural. You know.
And, you know, you and I, we've listened to enough people, and that's why we've came to that conclusion, because you spend your life listening to others. I spent a great portion of my life listening to others, and we've came to the same conclusion. It's all connected. We need to stop putting stuff in boxes, stop worrying about titles, and just cover it and document it and try our best, all in our own little ways, to document this as much as possible for the rest of the world that maybe hasn't had an experience yet. So, you know, that's what it's all about. And like I said, when I was about 15, 16 years old, the show Ghost Hunters came out. You know, I remember getting the box sets when it came out because we didn't have streaming services. So I would just watch it all. And when I was 15, 16 years old, I got like a K2 EMF reader. I had a Sony Handycam with IR night vision, and I was investigating paranormals, going to different spots. And, you know, in later years, when I was 19, 18, 19, I went to Bible college. I lived in Gettysburg for 2 years. My Bible college was in Gettysburg. And bro, unlike other haunted places, you know, you go to a haunted house within a city. The whole city is not haunted. It's just a house or just a prison or just a sanatorium. With Gettysburg, it's a very small town. It's not that big. And keep in mind, 65,000 people passed away there in a time span of 3 days in a little tiny town in the middle of nowheres. And for that, it's the bloodiest battle of the Civil War. And when I say literally the entire town and the surrounding areas, every single place you go is solemn ground. It's all haunted. It's one of the craziest places. And then living there for 2 years and just having so many personal paranormal experiences. And with my time investigating extraterrestrials and UFOs and all of that, you know, a lot of the things from that community, you know, I'm utilizing that and I'm pulling it over into the paranormal. And that's really opening some interesting doors, needless to say. But in a way, you could say I'm returning to my first love. And the best part about what I'm doing now with my new team, Paranormal Unearthed, which my colleague is Anthony Blair. He's a former New York City police officer, amazing guy, one of my best friends. And unfortunately, you know, 9 months ago, my grandmother got really sick and she was home on hospice, bedbound, and I was her full-time caretaker. My entire life stopped. I was never allowed to leave the house. And Anthony and I, before, we were doing a lot with UFOs and doing this and doing that. But then everything just stopped. And when my grandma passed June 28th, you know, after going through all of that, it was just so much. I'm like, man, I just really want to do what I love. I want to travel. I want to go to places. I want to have experiences for myself. You know, I was always in a position. Yeah, I had a few experiences, but I was always interviewing about other people's experience. Well, I love doing that, and so do you, Robert. But like my true heart's desire is to travel and to have my own experiences, right? I'm sure you would love to have the experience of your guests, but in order to do that, you have to get off of the camera. You got to stop interviewing people and go on the road, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Robert, I was just going to tell, I have a chance. I'm going at the end of this month. I'm going on a small little trip, you know, to visit someone. And I'm hoping to do some paranormal investigations or something. I'm hoping to get some live footage somewhere. Like, I don't know, something, you know what I mean? Because like, I feel you, like we got to get out. Like I went to a conference this year and that was great, you know, but I mean, I feel you. I think we need to be out more, and it feels better too than just being like this behind the camera, you know, like, and like, just, you know, for me personally,
the pressure,
especially you have to take care of your grandma, right? Like that was like, you know.
Yeah. and that was really hard, and it broke me. And after coming out of that, like, you know my story with the UFO crash, not to get too off subject, but when my mom passed and inspired me to come forward and become a disclosure advocate to help people like my mom, like that guilt that I was carrying, everything I was doing was for her, because I had this guilt, I had regrets, sadness, and I never thought I would be at peace. When I was with my grandmother, I was with her at the moment of her passing, holding her hand. First time I've ever been able to experience that. And this is paranormal. For the first time since my mom died, I felt my mom. I felt my mom there with me and my grandmama as she was passing. Like, you want to talk about an eye opener. And at that time, when my grandmother passed, after seeing her suffer and just, grueling 6 months, completely bedbound person, everything. Like, I'm sure many out there have had to do this for a loved one, and they know how grueling it can be. And it's also extremely rewarding. As much as it's tiring, it's rewarding. But going up to that moment, the second she passed and I felt my mom, it's like all the guilt I had from my mom and just everything else, it was like this overwhelming peace came over me. And it was like a switch went off in my head. And since that moment, I haven't been this happy in my life for a very, very long time. I'm talking many years. Like, I feel happier now than even when I was a child. Like, it's, and I went down such a hard path because the disclosure community and everything, and I thought I failed. I was censored, shut out, attacked by my own community, etc. And things just got out of control, and I didn't want anything to do with it. Unfortunately, I started drinking that whole 2 years. When I left the community, I was just pounding whiskey, got out of control. Luckily, I've been sober for 1 year and 5 months. I have not touched a drip of alcohol, but it took me losing everything.
To get your back, I know how passionate you are about disclosure and UFOs. Like, and I know how real your mom's. I know how your mom's encounter and your encounter, the Lower Alleyways Creek incident, was very real. And for people that don't know, that's what it was, right? Is that what it was? The Lower Alleyways Creek.
Yeah. The Lower Alleyways Creek incident. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I know that was, and I know you hold that passion to your heart, and I know you wanted for disclosure. So when you had a little fallout with the community, which that was only a little small section of the community, which I had a fallout with as well. Let's be honest, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, I felt for you, man. You know what I mean? But like, I would have probably done similar. You know what I mean? Because I feel the same way about disclosure too. I know you're very passionate about it. But then I saw a firelight. Can I be honest? Like, I was going to bring up Anthony, because I know you were doing a project with Anthony, which was amazing. I had you on my show back in January, I think it was, when you were doing Unidentified, I believe, with Anthony, where you guys were capturing some really
Project
amazing
Horizon. Horizon. Yeah, and then my grandmom got sick, and then Project Horizon, and Anthony, he's my best friend. He's the one doing Paranormal Unearthed with me. Our camera woman is my girlfriend. But Anthony, man, he's a real friend, because he understood. He had to do the same thing with his grandmother, okay? And he understood what was going on, and he stopped, and like, we had crazy plans. We were gonna, like, we had it all lined out, and my life, shut off. But he was there. He was supportive, texting me. He stopped doing videos about it and stuff. And then after my grandma passed and everything, I got a hold of him. I'm like, because I told Anthony, I said, look, I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but I promise the second it's done, you and we are going to make it happen, and we're going to do it, and we're going to fulfill our dreams. And that's how Paranormal Unearthed was formed. And that Anthony's such a great friend. Not a lot of people would do that. They would leave their best friend, their partner, their entertainment partner, or whatever you want to call it, their co-host, would just leave them in the dust and never look at them. But man, he's a straight up guy, and that's why he's one of my best friends. And how lucky I am now, how blessed I am. I get to travel to some of the most haunted places in this country with my best friend and my girlfriend and investigate. Like, what an amazing life.
So cool.
How much
That
fun.
is cool. That I love it, man. I'm so happy.
I'm the
for
luckiest
you,
guy on planet Earth, you know?
And I just want to let you know, I went through what you went through with my grandmother. She had dementia, which turned to full blown Alzheimer's. So I had to deal with it back when in my 30s too. It's hard, you know what I mean? It's enough to, you know, seeing that it's rough, you know. But thankfully, you and Anthony is a good friend. You know, like it's almost like in those times where we have that, you know, you need someone to lean on their shoulder or something. You know what I mean? It's like it's great for friendship, and it turned out to be that he ended up being a great partner. And you guys did 2 amazing projects so far. Like we said, the UFO project, which you're all do. By the way, you're always getting amazing UFO footage. By the way, I just watched your channel. I think it was like a week ago or 2, and you were showing some amazing triangle footage. Like I was like, wow, this is like next level triangle footage. You know what I mean? It was really like, you know. And then to tap into the paranormal stuff, which we're going to talk about now. I just watched your documentary, your first episode that you and Anthony did on your new channel.
Yeah.
The evidence is amazing. It's
bananas. It's
so
bananas.
Every time you do something, Robert, it's next level. So I love the fact that you always take it to that next level. You know, you always do.
You know what? And a perfect segue right into Paranormal Unearthed. You know, this was our first investigation. Just for everyone that's out there, the full episode is up on Paranormal Unearthed. We made it short, only 40 minutes. We could have easily made it 10 hours. We investigated the Seaview abandoned haunted tuberculosis hospital in Staten Island, New York. Give everyone a little bit of reference, a little bit of history. The tuberculosis hospital, Seaview in Staten Island, was the construction started in 1905 and continued until 1938, consisting of 37 facilities, all connected by over 3 miles of underground tunnel systems. Okay?
Wow.
Bananas. It was the largest tuberculosis and the most expensive tuberculosis in the East Coast of its time. It was crazy. And the craziest part about all this,
tunnel systems, Rob. But did you figure that out? Is there any history behind that? Why they're underground tunnel systems?
yes, to run water, electric, to run everything for the entire grid. So keeping it running so it could be heated, cool, not freeze. It's, you know, also maintenance. These places would have huge staff, huge maintenance. And to get to one place from another, it was easier to travel through the tunnels. Also, because this was a tuberculosis center, you know, morale was very important. They didn't know how to cure tuberculosis for just about the whole time it was out. And they were under the impression that fresh air and sunlight and a positive environment would just magically make all these people with tuberculosis feel better. So oftentimes, as people were coming in, not allowed to leave because they thought it was contagious, and it was, you know, they would be trapped there and they would try to make a happy environment. But people were dropping like flies, but they didn't want to roll out the bodies of the people that were dropping through the facilities and on the grounds, because that would make the patients there lose morale. They would feel like there's no hope seeing the number of bodies going out. So the tunnels were used to do that for doctors, to staff, to aides, to chefs, to kitchen workers. That way the grounds had a peaceful, everyone's happy, everyone's smiling, and all the dark stuff would happen in the surgical rooms. And everything was left behind at the Seaview Hospital. All the original, everything, untouched, left there. Electroshock therapy chairs, everything, just everywhere.
Holy shit.
Nightmare fuel, bro. Nightmare fuel. It's all there. It's just everything left behind. All the documents, everything. Everything untouched, with about 3 to 6 inches of dirt, dust, and asbestos on everything, bro.
Oh,
and you will not find another paranormal team that has investigated there with equipment like we did. We were the first. We were the first.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
Yeah,
And the amount of evidence is just mind-blowing. And all of this happened down in the basement and these tunnel systems. Yeah.
Wow. Is that the clips we're gonna watch tonight?
I have 3 clips. So just a little backstory before we show everyone some of the amazing evidence that we caught, and it's quite compelling. I keep telling Anthony, bro, I hope this ain't beginner's luck. I've done other paranormal investigations in my life, and I was lucky to just get an EVP. I was just lucky to hear a sound of a footstep or something. This investigation, I can't even say we caught the trifecta, the holy 3. I can't say that. We caught so much more. And just to give you a synopsis, I have a few clips, but if you want to see them all, go watch the video. Obviously, I don't want to spoil alert too much, but we had everything from footsteps on thermal footage. We had audible voices picked up on multiple cameras. We had a object violently thrown at us. We don't know what the object is, but it was recorded on 4 different cameras. We also caught a shadow person. Yeah. And there was a physical attack that is documented, and you can see the attack happening. You actually see it. We hear about people being attacked, but you never see like the physical, the movement of it. Well, we documented it, and I was the one that was attacked at a time where we were absolutely terrified. And just one little tiny thing before we show these clips, it's so important because we didn't put everything in the video. Like I said, it would have been 3 hours long. There was only one way to get into this facility. There was a hole in a fence, and the entire property complex was an 8-foot barbed wire fence with reinforced steel at the bottoms, the middles, everywhere. So we go in and we do a baseline, we set up all of our gear, and then we head into the tunnel systems. We were like, all right, let's start off right into the belly of the beast. We got a baseline of the everything else, and we we're like, let's go to the heart of the beast. Let's get the creepiest done first. That was our philosophy. So we're in this 3 miles of underground tunnel complexes, okay? Completely oblivious, so far underground, completely silent. After we get done investigating that, we go up, and we were going to go to another section and all that. And a construction team came and sealed up the fence. Bro, we were freaking locked in there. Panic mode. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. To God. Dude, at that point, it wasn't about finding ghosts or nothing like that. But we thought maybe if we went down in the tunnels, we could find a way out to get like under the fence and come out. And it was at that time. That's when I was panicking. We weren't recording. Anthony was just recording, and he's cussing, saying, out of all effing days for them to come and lock that up. It's been open since last October when I came here, and they got to do it right now. Like we were, and I'm sweating. We're panicking. And then eventually we said we need to find a way out. So we found an old ladder from the 1940s. It was mostly broken, and we found an old fire blanket with asbestos all over it, and we used that to scale the barbed wire fence. And yeah, man, it was, dude. And I think us being stuck there and locked in, I think that ramped up the activity because we felt exactly what the patients felt when they came there. They weren't allowed to leave, and that sense of it wasn't about the ghost anymore, but that was terrifying. It was the worst possible place to physically be trapped in. We were not happy campers. And after the book bag thing, we said we need to get the heck out of here. And we did. It was,
dude, that is insane, man. I can't wait to watch these. Dude, that is insane. Like,
so let's start with the craziest. Let's start with the craziest one. Since I just talked about the backpack, the backpack would be the video all the way to the right.
Okay, the third clip. Okay, we're gonna
Moment
let
where you can see an
bear with me,
unseen
guys, because
force
sometimes it's
pulling the
loads slow. I
backpack
you
off
know,
of
it's
my
like the internet,
shoulders.
but I
You
mean,
can
like,
see that I'm
you know, I
clearly
have it
past the
should be it
pipes, and
should
a
work
loose
good.
hanging
Hopefully,
wire
works
isn't
good.
capable of
Come on,
this.
work
Keep in
good.
mind, I had thousands of dollars of brand new equipment in that bag that fell into dirt and asbestos. And if you look closely, you can actually see something physically pull it up and back, causing everything to fall out and for it to come completely undone. Look at the movement. Something latches onto that and pulls it directly up right there. And let me tell you, the amount of force this caused me to come to a complete stop. And after hearing an EVP telling us to die, if I would have fell backwards down these steps, I would have hit the back of my head on that pipe. Considering this terrifying experience, it was time to get out.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So, and
Holy shit, man.
as you could see, like right where my handle and like the top of the bag, because I was
Yeah.
already past the pipes, I was staying low. I knew the pipes were there. I hit my head on so many freaking pipes. The next day, I had 3 eggs on the top of my head. I was probably concussed, honestly. But you know, so like I was staying low, and I'm 6'8". I'm a big old boy. So, you know, I'm scooting low because, you know, that backpack, that was about 30 pounds in there. That was heavy. That's not a light pack. I had about 30 pounds in there. And I'm going up the steps and I'm leaning forward. My weight and everything's leaning forward. And something pulled to the point where it snapped me, you know, it stopped me. And the amount of force, this whatever it was that pulled my backpack, pulled it so hard that from the sheer weight and force, like caused my backpack to like fully open up and just kind of explode on me, man.
Yeah,
Nuts.
that's insane. We had a question from the audience. This is from one of my moderators, Jason. He always asks good questions. He wants to know, do you have a favorite paranormal tool, and does Anthony? And do you guys use do you and Anthony use different tools each? Does one person use some? I don't know a lot about the paranormal tools. I know like EVP readers and stuff like that, but you know, I'm kind of rudimentary when it comes to that. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
but to let us know about like what you're using and what's your favorite, and like what, and if you use something and Anthony uses something different, and how's that go?
Yeah, well, so my title, you know, Anthony's lead investigator. Everyone needs titles. I'm the equipment specialist. So, the most important tool for Anthony and I, it's us. It's us. We are the most important tool. What we can feel, what we can pick up on, you know, that's always the most crucial tool. But moving forward to really, and what's up, Jason? I think I know which Jason it is. What's up, brother?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we use tons of things, and I just got a lot of new equipment. So I will be using a Canon XA60 professional camera with IR night vision. I have a Psionics Black night vision camera. That's the camera I use to record UFOs with. But with an IR light and stuff, it's absolutely mind blowing. So paranormal investigators really don't use the Psionics camera. But once again, from what I've learned from the skywatching community, I'm bringing it over. If it's good enough to see a UFO in outer space, you better believe it can see an apparition in complete darkness in the woods, right? It's, see, switching it up. We got that. I have a GoPro style camera custom built to see in the full spectrum, meaning the lenses have been removed to allow ultraviolet light and infrared light in the lens. Most cameras, they have clear glass to protect certain light spectrums from destroying the lens. Well, this was taken off, and it's a custom made full spectrum camera to allow different light spectrums in, and it's a GoPro style, which is pretty cool, 4K. We have multiple other cameras. Anthony has a lot of cameras. We've been using cat balls. Cat balls are real cheap, motion activated. You know, they're cheap, they're easy, and that, you know, that lets you know if something's scooting. Flare camera.
It looks like Rob. It looks like Anthony's here. He says his go-to is the FLIR camera as well. He looks
Yes. Yeah, we have a yeah.
Well,
What's up, Anthony? And everyone, you can also check that out. That's our channel. So yeah, the flare camera. During this investigation, we actually caught footsteps on that same flare camera. It's really useful to have. Amazing flare camera. He has a GoPro, cat balls, EMF detectors. We both have.
Man,
And then
you guys are
I,
loaded. With
yeah,
the, you know, you got, and but like I said, Rob, like I said this before. When you do something, you do it big, like in a way, like you always do it very professionally. Like even I remember back when you were just doing videos and you were like covering, like you always had amazing like graphics. You always did it like very professionally. You know what I mean? So I can tell that you always put your heart into everything.
Well, good news, no joke, no lie. Anthony is 1,000 times better at editing videos than even I am. So, with what you just said about me, and then combining that with Anthony's mind-blowing skills, like together, man, dream team. Like what I'm bad at, he's extremely good at. What he's not so good at, I'm super good at. And it's just the chemistry, and then it's just together. It's like when you're writing music in a band, it's like, oh, that, but when the out product comes, it's just mind-blowing. But that's the basic equipment. But for all the paranormal junkies out there, we do have a lot of new toys and things. For example, a dead bell. I have this bell that detects electromagnetic fields, and if that's disrupted by some sort of energy, the bell goes off. We actually had a crazy encounter with that in the video, where the bell was just going off nonstop. I mean, going insane. And at the exact moment I told the bell to stop, it stopped. And like, you see our faces, we're like, you gotta be kidding. Like, we were in like disbelief, like, is this real life? Is this happening? It's wild. Also, I have a spirit box. It's a box that scans radio frequencies, and I like to use AM, less radio interference, and it just scans through. And if you start to hear an intelligent voice answering your questions, and you hear the same voice coming over many channels, it's a good chance that could be some sort of spirit, something coming through and manipulating that device. We also use a digital voice recorder. I just got this amazing thing, which is an EMF pump. This pumps out electromagnetic frequency. Now, a lot of our equipment detects electromagnetic frequency. So obviously, we don't want to use this around the equipment, but this is helpful to show people how the equipment works and to prove that it actually works. But with this, you want to place this in a part of the room where you won't be in, to just provide it a 39-inch circumference. It pumps out electromagnetic frequency. So if there's any energy or ghosts there that feed off of that, it will give them more strength so they can do things, throw a cup, move something, stack chairs, whatever. This is like a battery charger for ghosts. Very useful tool. And we did not have this during our last investigation. This is a new tool I will be using. I also got a motion sensor music box. It's a coffin. It plays creepy, terrifying little kid music. And it has an IR light to see in the darkness. And if anything moves past it, if someone walks past it, any sort of movement, it will start playing the creepiest, terrifying music that you would never want to hear, playing when you're in a place in the dark. It's going to be really awesome. And I have a few other toys as well. And yeah, and that's just a little bit of what we got. We got the cat balls. I got that. And
What
a
is
few
a
other.
cat-
Oh,
what is
REM
a cat-
pod.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
One more thing. And then REM pod.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yep, IR lights, all of that. And yeah, so we're pretty stocked up, and our next investigation's already booked and planned, but that will be to be announced. So we don't like to say anything before an investigation, Once we're there and everything's set up, we let everyone know. But it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be an awesome one. But yeah.
We got another question from the audience. This one's from Polly Rotterman. She says, how can you clean yourself from those entities after experiences, and what does your never do while dealing with them?
That's a good question. Everyone's different. So far, I haven't had the need to feel like I had to cleanse myself. If I did, there's a lot of different avenues. I do think it's important that beforehand to really get yourself right, because if you get yourself right beforehand, it's less likely that things can attach to you. The problem is most people don't do something beforehand. They don't do whatever they need to do to make sure that they are spiritually locked in, strong, connected, and protected. And then something attaches to them, and then it's too late, and then you got to smudge yourself. You got to go to a clergyman, all this stuff. But if you really take the time before, it can really stop things like that from happening. So that would be my response. And sometimes I swear that these things are more afraid of me. I'm a very high energy person. I'm a very strong person, very grounded. I have enough Native American in me to, be able to do a little juju stuff. Sometimes I think these things, there's a mutual respect. You do you, I do me, but keep it separated. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to get rid of you. Just don't cross that line. You do your thing. You stay over there. But if you come over here, we're going to have a problem. And when we got a problem, I'm going to have to get rid of you.
Exactly.
That's my mindset. I don't want to be a bully.
I had a wicked entity attachment for it lasted for 3 months. It was weird. It was like astral parasites, but I was able to finally get rid of it. But it was really bizarre. You know what I mean? It was really I don't know, but
it can tear you apart.
Yeah,
slowly.
Slowly. Yeah, it did. It was like
it's not a fast thing. The word parasite is a good way, because you can't completely deplete your host. You need to feed off of them. So you got to do it slowly, almost to the point where they don't even notice they're there. And then over time, and the weakness, the tiredness, the depression, everything that comes with it, man, that's how they operate. It's not a quick and, whoa, I got a demon in me. It's not like that. It's a slow process where they just take ever so slightly, and then you just wake up one morning and you're at that point. What I mean? It's dark, bro. It's dark. And that's why we need to protect ourselves.
Between me and you, I think it was someone in the community. I don't know which part of it. I don't, but I think it was someone in the community using black magic. I really do. Someone that knows how to manipulate energy in a great way, where they were able to send that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's but that's what we're dealing with here. There's a lot of people doing some weird shit in the community. I've learned that.
And you bring up a good point. Sometimes the scariest monsters we have to deal with are human beings. I'm more afraid of humans than I am of the things we're encountering in the dark. I'll tell you the truth. That's the God's honest truth.
Well, some of those spirits might be friendly too. They might want to communicate, right? They might want to have a good rapport with you.
Well, we can play a next clip. That's a perfect segue. So I'll let you know which one. But before we play this next clip, as I said, we caught some insane. I don't even know if EVP is the right word. When people say EVPs, people think a digital voice recorder, and they're doing a digital voice recording, and they listen, and it's just static junk. It's not clear, and it kind of sounds like a voice, and you can't really make out what it's saying. That's what people think an EVP is. What we captured is crystal clear. Captured on 3 different cameras, by the way. I don't know if this is just the one camera or all 3, but in the full episode, you can watch all 3 cameras. But this was picked up, and the craziest thing, Anthony, myself, my girlfriend Amy, none of us heard anything. Even though it's so loud, you hear the voice reverberating in the tunnel. And what it says, and it's so sad. Well, we'll play. I don't want to, we'll just play. It'll be the first clip.
Okay, first clip. Here we go. Loading. And again, guys, give it a second because this internet's slow. I have good internet. But yeah, here we go.
Dude,
Play it again after it's done. It's right in the beginning.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Let me play. Oh my God.
Dude, I don't know how to.
Play it again.
That was, guys, I hope everybody heard that. That was
Play it
insane.
again.
Help, I'm hurt. Let's listen again, guys. Holy fuck, bro.
Dude, I don't know how to.
Play it again. Play it again.
Yeah.
One more time.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Here we go, guys. One more time.
Dude, I don't know how to.
Now, Robert,
Question about that, Rob. Do you think this is a spirit that's reliving old traumas and it's like trapped in some kind of like weird interdimensional energy space? I mean, I hate to say that, but like that's what it seems like, right? Like,
dude,
why would she say that if she was? You know what I mean?
A little backstory. So we discovered this. Anthony did. We were reviewing footage. We were putting everything together. And we were going through, Be Real and stuff. And he just set up his camera and he was trying to get a good shot and all of that, And just wild. And he noticed it and he sent it to me. I'm like, dude. And I'm like, I got to check the other cameras. If we picked it up on that camera, I wonder if it would be on the other cameras. And to my surprise, I found it on the two other cameras. And you can hear it as clear as day on the two other cameras. So it was when I first heard it and him and we were talking, I just had a really like sad feeling, like a really bad because of what you just said. Like you can hear the pain in the voice, like, help, I'm hurt. Like you hear that brokenness. And just to imagine, like I really got bummed out right away. Because, it's one thing to hear an evil voice telling us to die, which we have that. It's like, screw that guy. Whatever, dude. You want to be a jerk, but when it's innocence like that and such a desperate plea for help and we didn't hear it, and to think that some sort of poor soul is stuck in this constant existence of pain and they were asking us for help and we didn't hear it with our own ears, it's heartbreaking. I feel like, and I don't know what I could have done. I'm being real with you. I'm a holy man. I could explain to it, but I didn't hear it. Otherwise, I would say go towards the light. Can you find light? I would have tried to do anything I could. I don't know how magical I am and how much I can help something like that. It may be beyond my purview of helping the other side. It's not really my thing. I'm familiar with it, but it's like, what do you do?
Did you
guys
think about getting a psychic, like a psychic medium that might be able to tap into the spirits like live while you're there? That would be cool to have that too, like to add to your team. Like, I know a lot of like ghost hunters have that, and then they can like tap into the spirits there. Maybe sometimes they can help them cross, or they can maybe get you, like they can sense if something's there and might help you pick up more live feeds. I don't know. It's just an idea. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we will in future investigations, but with this situation and being locked in there and the fence being sealed up, it's not a place like where we could get, someone to come in there and afterwards. Like,
yeah, I agree.
To the best of my knowledge, this place is like closed, for good. They really sealed it up good. And, so I don't know if other people are going to be able to get back in there or not. I don't know. But for future investigations, especially if we notice something, like I said, we discovered that voice, about a week after, as we were working on the video and reviewing footage and all of that. So it's one thing when we hear something like that in real time, we could give a couple calls to people in the community. And for anyone watching out there, eventually we do want to have psychics and people come on the show and walk through, these places and give us an idea. I want to see what they're putting down to see if that can help us in any shape or form or way. So if you're interested in that out there, just let us know. And as we travel around, if you're someone that's in that area and you're free on that night, we'll have you come out and do a little reading and see what you put down and document you and use what you say. And we'll try our best to document and get evidence of what these people are coming there and picking up, right? Like kind of helping the psychics be validated, right? They come there, they say something. Oh, there's a man named Johnny here. And then we get an EVP or a voice that says, I'm Johnny. Well, wow, they were pretty spot on, that kind of situation.
We already got you a volunteer here. One of my moderators, Michelle, she's awesome. She comes on my show. She does decodes. She's very psychic too. Her name is the Earth Grid Rescue Mission. She says I would love to help. So maybe she can contact you, and investigate that.
For sure. So check out Paranormal Unearthed and reach out to us. And we have an email. And then, Anthony and I, we're on Facebook and stuff. And as we go certain places, we're definitely going to want people so once we know where everyone's from and where they're at, it'll make it a lot easier. But yeah, man, that was a creepy voice. And it even has like a weird old accent. It's not like a modern English. It sounds like an old-timey English, and it's clearly a woman's voice, and it's just sad, like you said.
It really is.
It's sad.
It is. It kind of like it makes you think, what is going on there? You know what I mean?
I did not like hearing that. I rather hear demons. I rather hear angry, hostile, scary growls and stuff like that. I don't like hearing ones like that. That was a bummer. I would say that's the saddest piece of evidence we caught, but it's phenomenal. Very clear, very clear. And like I said, we got it on 3 cameras, and in the full episode that's up, everyone will be able to hear all 3 versions. So it's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And
so should we do the last clip?
Yeah, and before we get to the last clip, so as I mentioned, we were down in the basement and the tunnel systems, right? And each, you would travel down the tunnel, and then there would be a basement system. Then you would travel down the tunnel, and there would be another basement system. And this is how it worked. And what you're about to see now is the first basement system. When we first go down, once we leave the top floor and we went down into the basement, this is, right off the rip, right when we're investigating the basement, we had the bell activity where the bell was going off and then it turned off. The moment I said turn off, we had massive orbs flying around, a bunch of stuff. But a little pre-story before we show this clip, because it's mind-blowing. We were recording and there was a gurney, a table, and we had the bell set on it, and we all have our cameras looking at that table because we're all we had cat balls on the medical gurney, and we all had our cameras focused on that. That was what we were trying to, interact with. We were hoping to all on 3 different cameras capture a light ball, light up, to get the bell going. I had an EMF detector there, we were trying to document it. We were zoned in. But in each basement, like behind the basement where you're going to see me standing, is a massive, huge, open dirt crawl space with huge columns holding,
Bless you.
holding everything up. And it's terrifying when you're in a small room and then you have a dark opening that leads to a big, scary dark room. That feeling you get like, oh no, I don't want to have my back exposed. So I have my back up against a wall. And what we captured is some sort of shadow person, very small shadow person. And so go ahead and let it roll. And
let's let it rip. Here we go, guys. This is this is awesome. And remember, guys, I'll go check out Paranormal Unearthed, and watch this documentary. It's or investigation. This is amazing.
There it goes.
All your energy, or even the energy of the devices. Draw in that energy and.
Oh my God.
Try to use all your energy, or even the energy of the devices. Try to use all your energy, or even the energy of the devices.
Then right after, a little tiny orb shoots out of there after that thing walks by. It's slow motion right now. You'll really be able to see it. It comes in and out. It's clearly behind the wall. Any other shadow would have showed up on the white wall. That thing was behind me and behind that wall. And in the full episode, you see I'm holding a camera. I'm recording. And at that exact moment, we show what I was recording. And it's Amy, our camera woman, and Anthony holding completely still. Behind our camera woman, which was the farthest away, we were down in the basement. There was no light source behind her. It was total darkness. There was nothing to cast her shadow. And also, this shadow is behind me. And as you can see in the video, you'll see other shadows of the medical equipment up on that white wall. It's clear as day. You can see what a shadow is. This thing is behind the wall. It probably comes up to about, a little above my like right around my rib cage. I'm 6'8". As you can see, I had a duck. My head was taller than the thing. And then we show the video of me and my camera. And the craziest part about this, literally 15 seconds after that thing walks behind me, out of nowhere, suddenly, I just turn around and I just start recording back there because I felt something. Even though I didn't know. I didn't know that thing was behind me. Otherwise, obviously, I would have been out. I would have been freaking out. I had not a clue, but I did get a sense, and I turn the camera around and I record and I show everyone exactly what it looks like in there. And there's a huge pile of dirt, but the ghost thing's like walking flat. It doesn't make sense. It's almost like it was walking through the dirt, and that's just impossible.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I got a question again, Rob. You could tell us again what it says, because a couple girls in the chat are very adventurous. They feel like they can travel their astral and clear this place out. They want to help that woman that's caught there. Like Angela in the chat mentioned, she thinks she can travel there astrally and clear it out. And I think Michelle thinks she can do it too. So what's the location? They're not going to go there physically. They're talking about they're going to go astrally.
Well, yeah. No, that's excellent. And thank you, because I'm not kidding. When I heard that, it really bummed me out. It was extremely sad. So I really appreciate that. This is the Seaview Hospital in Staten Island. There is a current operating hospital there, but directly next to it are all the old tuberculosis hospitals that were built. And there are 4 buildings that look exactly alike, and it's the first building. So there's the Seaview Hospital, the newer part, and then there's these 4 old buildings that will have interesting roofs, and they're right next to each other. From a map, it would be the one all the way to the right, the one facing the ocean. So for the astral projectors and the remote viewers out there and stuff, I'm trying to be very accurate. It would be the first building to the right. If you were looking down, you see the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you see the new hospital in front of it. It would be the very first building, and the tunnel systems went all down. So those 4 buildings down in the tunnels. But Anthony kept on saying this whole entire investigation, whole entire time. And at first I'm like, Man, I think you're loose. I think you're spooked out. But the entire investigation, Anthony said, I feel like there's a woman following me around. At one point, he thought he saw a female woman. He kept on thinking he heard a female voice, but we didn't hear it. But once we recorded that and collected all the other evidence, I was like, well, Anthony, apparently, he's like, I told you. You should have listened. I told you. I told you. That's all he kept on saying. I'm like, well, you were right. There was definitely a female presence following us around. And unfortunately, there was some sort of male negative, entity following us around. And it seemed like this woman presence asking for help. It seemed like whoever she was, seemed like she was trying to warn us, because at one point we didn't put it in the video, but we were using a spirit talker and all that. And she was communicating with Anthony. She was saying, I remember you from last time. She said her name was Vicky. Vicky. That's what she said. Her name was Vicky. And she said the word poltergeist. And we believe that Vicky, this woman, she was trying to help us or warn us about this nasty thing, this poltergeist thing that pulled my backpack, and that we recorded its voice telling us to die. Like that. Die. Freaking nuts. So it seems like she was following us.
Is going on there, right? It might be like something demonic too, or something. What do you think?
Hey, easily. With everything that happened there throughout all the years and all the death it's seen, and whatever that is could be feeding off of this poor Vicky soul. If that's her name, Vicky, that's what we got. That's what we were under the impression. But whoever this poor this poor woman, maybe this darker thing is keeping her there. And so for the remote viewers and astral projectors out there, if you can get in there and help this poor soul, I would really appreciate that. And more importantly, I know she would too. I don't think it's fair for any soul to have to live in a constant of that. It's a bummer.
Yeah. It's amazing. And Anthony wanted me to play the video again. He said in the chat, "Do you want me to play it one more time? Should we?
Yeah.
People that are coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is a shadow person, guys, and you'll see. Let me. I hit play. It's not.
Try to use all your energy, or even the energy of the devices. Draw in that energy and try to use all your energy, or even the energy of the devices. Try to use all your energy, or even the energy of the devices.
That's creepy.
I get goosebumps. If I would have known that was there, I would have been out.
Rob,
I swear.
In your first major investigation, you got amazing footage, dude. I'm going to take it off now. Let me see if I can. I'll get it back to the regular screen. Honestly, Rob, you got amazing footage for your first, major investigation. So guys, like, everybody go to Paranormal Unearthed. It's a real easy to remember on YouTube. Just go to Paranormal Unearthed. You guys can see Anthony's in the chat. That's the name of the YouTube channel, and it's Rob and Anthony, the guys, and they had the Horizon Project. If you remember, you can go to my Rumble and watch it. We covered the UFO phenomenon that they were covering a couple months back, and every time these guys team up, they do an amazing job. This was awesome, bro. I mean, this is amazing.
And I just we have a lot of clips and we caught so much, but I didn't want to show everything on here because obviously we want everyone to go check it out, and no one wants to spoil a movie, right? No one, but I did show you some of the craziest, most compelling, because I don't like to tease people too much. But we caught so much stuff, and there was so much stuff we didn't put in the video because it was our first video. We didn't want to drop a 2-hour video. No one knows who we are. No one knows what we're capable of. All that. We were like, let's just get the most compelling stuff, Make it short, easy for people to watch. You know, it's hard to find 2 hours in our lives to watch a paranormal show. I watch them, but it's hard to do that. So we want to make a shorter video that gets right to it. We have a celebrity narrator. Our narrator has done stuff for History Channel and many other TV shows as well. I'm sure a lot of you may notice the voice. Awesome guy. And yeah, Anthony did an amazing job at putting all of this together. This guy worked like 2 weeks nonstop, day and night. I've never seen anyone work so hard on everything. And Anthony and I, we have put our heart and soul into this. We've put our money into this. We are all in on this project. More so, and we are extremely proud when you put as much work, time, and money into something and it comes out, like, you're that much, you know, you're prouder for it. You're like, this is our baby and we care about it, and we plan on doing a lot more. We have some amazing places set up and we're still in the process of booking other ones. And yeah, we want to travel around and see what we get and provide awesome, entertaining videos for people while showing you the evidence. You know, we want people to enjoy. We want people to get spooked out. You know, we want people to be afraid to, you know, keep their lights off when they go to the bathroom. You know, we want you to keep your lights on. We tell people to watch this during the day. We actually aired this when it premiered. It was like 6 o'clock at night. It was still daytime. And people were like, thank you so much for posting this at daytime, because if I was watching this at night, it would have been a different story. I'm like, yeah, we don't want to scare everyone too bad. So for all you brave people, if you're really brave, watch it in a dark room, no lights. And if you're looking for a spook, you will get that plus a lot more. And, you know, the next time you feel a little gust of wind on your back, you're going to be thinking that it might be something else. And that's what Paranormal Unearthed is here to do, is to remind us of this phenomena and to document it. Friends traveling, the adventure of it, the history. I love the history of the paranormal. That's my favorite thing. You know, it's one thing, getting spooky activity, but I love history. And the most amazing thing about ghost hunting is going to these old places that have extreme long histories. And in our cases, we get to go there and we get a chance to communicate with history by communicating to the energies and the ghosts that is there. So as a history lover, of course, I love having an opportunity to get to talk to that history, to get that feel that history. You know, it just, to me, that's the magical thing. So it's the journey, it's the adventure, it's the history, it's the scared. I don't scare easy, but I love trying to get scared. So you know, that's what it's about. It's an adrenaline rush.
I was going to say, it makes you, honestly, when you see stuff like this, it makes me question the afterlife, because, you know, I cover so much stuff from the afterlife. I covered people who come on and say there's a soul trap and we're in a reincarnation cycle. And then, you know, people who cover ghosts and all this different and near-death experiences and stuff. And when you see stuff like this, it makes me question, like, what really happens in the afterlife? And then also, what is happening in other dimensional realities? Like, you know, for shadow people, you know what I mean? Like, where are these things? I always wonder, like, if there's another dimension where all these creatures just exist, you know what I mean? It's so strange, right? It's like, and you have to, and that's, I think a lot of us think that, because I think that's why we're here, right? Everybody that's in the chat right now, we're all wondering the same thing. What is going on in other dimensions, and what happens when we die? You know, because this definitely proves that, like, when we see ghosts and stuff, I don't think it's a quick. I mean, I've been very skeptical of things in my life. I really have. I'm pretty open on my show, but I'm very skeptical in my private life. But, like, dude, like, there's definitely something happens, it seems like, when we die, you know? I just don't know what, you know? It's a big mystery still to me. Even though I've interviewed all kinds of people, I just still have, you know, I still have questions at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
And that's what makes the paranormal so magical to everyone, because that's the $1 million question. That's the lifelong soul searching question. Are the questions that you have, Robert, and every other human being that's ever existed had those same questions. So many people have had some sort of paranormal encounter. whether they know it or not, or may not be aware of it, but they've all had something. I know like in the UFO and extraterrestrial community, like talking about that is a little bit more fringy. Like I could see a little pullback when I would bring that up in front of some people. But with the paranormal and ghosts and stuff, people are like kind of to like, it's a second thought. Like, oh yeah, one time when I was young, I saw like a farmer, a redneck farmer, dead serious, never smiles, never laughs. You're talking to him, and he's like, I had a paranormal experience, like from the most serious people ever. And you're like, what? Like I did not see that coming out of you. It's amazing. Everyone has had some sort of paranormal experience. And I think our interest, as I said before, with the paranormal is those questions. What happens when we die? Are there other realities? It's the same questions we have with UFOs. It's the same questions we have with Bigfoots. It's the same things we have with angels and demons, etc., etc., etc. It's all connected, and our questions is what fuels our curiosity. But the only question that remains, will our fear overcome our curiosity, or will our curiosity overcome our fear?
Yeah,
that's
well said. I love that.
My curiosity overcomes my fear. My need to know what these things are forces me to stay there when shit's getting bananas around me, because I need to know what it is, no matter how terrifying it is, because those same questions, it drives me nuts. I need to know. I need answers. I'm sure you feel the same way.
I do. That's why I do this. You know what I mean? That's exactly why I do this. I had some weird experiences with death throughout my life, and I experienced some, like some weird shit. And I was like, I always wanted to know, because like people would talk about like that their relatives would come visit them when they died, and they would see ghosts and stuff. And like, I wasn't seeing anything. So obviously, and I used to listen to Art Bell when I was a kid. I used to love Art Bell, and then, so like it kind of always just followed me throughout my life. And then, that was one of my big questions when I started my podcast, was what happens to us when we die? I want to know the truth, like whether are we in a soul trap, or are we in like is this a school for learning and we're here to learn lessons, or what's going on here? You know what I mean? And, Earth's a weird place, it's definitely a strange place for sure. But I love what you're doing, Robin. One thing I want to ask before you go, and guys, again, I'm going to say this one more time, because I want to get these guys some subscribers. Everybody go to Paranormal Unearthed right now and subscribe to their channel. And then after we're done here, check out the interview. I mean, the documentary / investigation. A couple questions. Jason wanted to know if there's any locations you wanted to cross off your list, like anywhere you'd really like to investigate. And then I wanted to see if we could possibly talk a little bit about UFOs before we go, because I know you're still investigating that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to places I want to go to investigate, and I've been to quite a few, there's a very large list of places. So I could spend 5 hours going over each place that I want to investigate, but to just break it down, I definitely want to do some penitentiaries, prisons, of course, some of the big ones. We're obviously having luck with tuberculosis hospitals. Our first investigation at Seaview was a knockout. So there's many tuberculosis hospitals, Waverly Hills, Penn, so many different other asylums all over, the big ones. And one thing Anthony and we eventually want to do is, just start to investigate like people's houses, people that, the big ghost shows won't go to and all that, like people that have like legit paranormal activity, like they've even got like stuff on their cell phone and are like, yo, we know that there's something there. Anthony and we want to go there and try to, help these people and document something and just bring awareness and help those people at the same time. So we got an email set up, and for right now we're doing this and we're getting the bearings, but we definitely want to just kind of give back more. So like every now and then, maybe some of our subscribers we'll go investigate our subscribers' house. So just more of a reason to subscribe to our channel, because if you live in an old haunted house and you're not that far from us and it's easy and we can get to, and you can make us a good dinner and we can crash there and all that. Yeah. And if we can film for the show and hang out with you and get some ghosts, yeah, we're down. Just make us a good supper. Let's sleep on the floor and we're good to go.
It sounds like a party. I'd like to be there.
A ghost party. Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Like
hospitals, and there are a few places I really want to investigate, but it's such a long list. Obviously, even though I lived in Gettysburg and all that, I can't wait. I've been to so many places, but I can't wait to have Paranormal Unearthed. I can't wait to have the team investigate these places, because the equipment and technology and everything we have now is so far superior than when I was 16 years old and doing it. It's a whole nother ball game. And thanks to all the technology we were using and having 3 to 4 cameras rolling constantly, that's why we have this kind of evidence. If we would just had one camera, there would have been so much we missed out on, So that's a big part of it, utilizing your equipment. And there was so much equipment we didn't have. It was our very first investigation. And it was wild, getting stuck in there, getting locked in there, freaking out, panicking, running for our lives, getting attacked. It was wild, man.
It was amazing. I mean, you got amazing documentation for your first investigation. I mean, I think it's like
beginner's luck, right, dude? That's I hope it's not, though. Anthony and I, we keep talking about it. And as we're talking, him and I are convinced that we are catalysts, because he had a triangular UFO experience in 1993. Mine was 1991. There's a lot of Anthony has been surrounded by the paranormal, just like in the beginning I was talking about mine. Anthony has his own story. That's, his own thing. And he's had his fair share, no doubt in my mind about it. I know a lot of his stories, and then there's so many. There's a lot I don't even know yet. So, we've always kind of been in this realm of paranormal, and we really think that sometimes we can be the catalyst. Maybe we're putting off some sort of energy that attracts all sorts of things. Whether it's me recording UFOs in the sky, why am I the one recording it? Why isn't everyone seeing these things that I'm documenting as clear as day? Why is that? Why have I had all these paranormal? Why have I seen full body apparitions? Why? After enough whys, you start to say, maybe it's not a why, but how?
Yeah,
how?
Exactly. I agree with you. I think you might be a cat, it's definitely true. Yeah.
And we're going to test that. We're going to test it. We'll eventually just find a cornfield with absolutely no history or nothing, and just go out there with our equipment and investigate it. And because in the episode, there are times where you see orbs flying into me and flying out of me quite regularly. I did my grandmom's house that she passed away in. And that video is called "To Grandmom's House We Go." That's on my channel. It was a solo practice. It was actually before the Sea View. And dude, just thousands of orbs just coming in and out. So and I picked up voices over there. So, and I own the house. It's directly next door to me. So it kind of seems like no matter, hopefully, I'm hoping that's the case, because I would love to get awesome evidence every place we go. But I have been paranormal investigating for enough years to know that it doesn't always go that. Sometimes you go somewhere and it's just not there. There's silent time. And even the best of paranormal investigators, we all have times like that. So I'm really hoping that, by us being catalysts, that maybe that can help really ramp up activity, maybe in times where it would be slower. Who knows? I don't know. Trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I just wanted real quick before we go, I wanted to ask you, like, you put together like the last show you did on your Order of Light channel, the one that I caught was about you had like UFO girl Sarah, which I wasn't familiar with her. That was my first introduction to her, which was cool. And then you had some other guy on, and they both had like I think from what I remember, they had like really insane triangle. I mean, and these were insane triangle sightings, and then. I mean, I just like I was amazed that you were able to put that together and find those people, like I know UFOs has always been a passion for you, and I just want to say that's good shit, man. Because like we need more of that in the community. We need more of the hard evidence. I think so, at least. You know what I mean? Like I like seeing it. It proves to me that the phenomena is absolutely real. I mean, I know it is anyway, but I mean, it just it alleviates any doubt, and it like. And I mean, those were amazing triangle sightings.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yes. So, unfortunately, that show ended, and with Paranormal Unearthed and the time of traveling and editing and stuff like that, I just couldn't do it anymore. But I absolutely loved it. All the sky watchers, the people with the same kind of night vision cameras, same thing Anthony and I was doing with Project Horizon. Not quite as scientific as Project Horizon, but amateur sky watchers that are out recording every night, recording mind-blowing things. Well, we have this underground community on TikTok, Instagram, all these other platforms, but we were all friends. Every single video you see all of our comments, but no one was interviewing any of us. All of the people that are literally outside recording the skies every night and recording UFOs, and like we were just all flying underneath the radar, and we were all really good friends and all amazing people and all doing the same thing, and there was like a camaraderie. We developed our own sky watching like language. Like when we see two UFOs flying together, we call them doublers. We got scooters, we got shadowy thing. We just came up with our own names because we were all recording the same kind of UFOs. Like, come on, it's insane. And so I started having them on, and I did a bunch of episodes, bringing on some of my favorites on there, and I had a bunch more lined up. Unfortunately, super busy. But I would have them come on, and I would tell them, send me, 10 to 20 of your favorite videos, or I can screen record them or whatever. I would make it into a production, load it up in StreamYard, right? You know how it goes. And as they were talking about it, I would be producing it all, putting up the clips and talking about them and all that, and showing what they were recording. And it was cool. It was a lot of fun. They're all amazing people. I love them so much. Shout out to the sky watching community, but it's amazing. But I was so busy with like all that and stuff. Like I haven't even been out the sky watch for a while. Like I've been just locked in on Paranormal Unearthed, and but I was really, really hoping, and they are, Sarah UFO Girly and a bunch of others, they are continuing and stuff, because I told them, just because I'm not doing it, someone else do it. Like I got this project, someone else can interview other sky watchers, and like, we were just a spark to create the sky watching community.
Yeah.
And I played my role. I got to help a lot of people. I got to strengthen this community, and now I can step back a little bit, right? I planted some seeds. I can sit back and I can watch them all grow. They can all have their own podcasts interviewing others, because I'm just one person that is stretched way too thin in life. And there's only so many hours in a day. And at the end of the day, I want to do what I'm passionate about. And for this moment, it's traveling with my best friend and my woman, going to some of the most terrifying places in the country. And we have a big investigation coming up, and it's a pretty popular place, and we're sleeping there. Whoa.
Holy shit.
There's no escape. We are sleeping there. And yes, I know everyone's wondering, we will be recording ourselves sleeping.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
So if you hear me farting in my sleep and there's a ghost that walks by and we got to show you that evidence, I'm sorry. you know. But if like at the moment I'm farting while I'm asleep and we catch a orb or a spirit or a voice, I'm not editing out. I'm like, sorry, world, you're gonna hear me farting because, you know, if there's a ghost, you know, I'm not gonna just
Dude,
show
that's
you
hilarious,
sleeping.
man. Yeah, that's
But if something happens when we're sleeping, you never know what you could be. You could be picking your nose. You're asleep. You don't know what you're doing. It's
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Yeah, dude, I wish you guys all the luck in the world, and I'm so excited about your project. And yeah, and do you want to just tell the people again, real quick, where they can find you? And thanks, Rob. I'm a big fan of your work, whether it's UFOs or the paranormal. Like, you know, I consider you a really good friend, and thanks for doing this, man. This is awesome.
And I'm a fan of you, man. Throughout the years, you've never wavered. You never wavered. You've always been you. You've always done what you've done, and you're just consistent. And I really appreciate that about you. You know, most people may not know this, but Robert and I, we really got in the mix right around the same time. And it's been a hell of a journey.
5 years ago, right? Wasn't it 5 years ago?
5 years ago. Yeah, you and I, 5 years, man. And shit we've been through, man. The fact we are right here, right now, I don't think if your community realizes it, but like, man, that just tells me everything I need to know about your character. You're a strong MFer, let me tell you, because I know what you've been through. I know the censorship you've been through, multiple attacks, all that. And the fact you and I are still brave enough to show our ugly faces to the world and say, hey, we're still here. And I don't care how much you try to censor me. You're not shutting me up. I love that about you. And I hope that you just never lose that fire, brother. And I really admire that about you, because that's really, really hard to find in today's world. And, you know, you never try to have quarrels. You try to miss the drama. You really just want to listen to people. You love listening because you learn when you listen, and you have questions and you want to learn and you want the answers for yourself. I honestly wish everyone out there was more like you, Robert. You know,
Dude,
for real.
That was like
that would be a good world.
So much. Wow, that really moved me, man. That was wow, I don't even know what to say, dude. Thanks, man. That's
I know
awesome.
what you can say. I got that UFO footage. I got a bunch of UFO footage in there if you want to play it. Unless you were about to end it, but I did put it in there.
Oh fuck yeah, man! Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Now
yeah.
I put a few videos together. The first, there's like 5 different videos. Now the very first video is a daytime UFO sighting. I recorded 4 of them. There are 3 clips put together, back to back to back, 4 daytime UFOs. It's pretty wild. When they were approaching, they were red orange orbs. They turned into black morphing spheres, and it's pretty wild. So if you want to give that a little play.
Okay, I got the yeah.
Oh
This
my
was the one.
God.
No, there's only one that loaded. This was
What
it,
is
but I
this?
got it. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
This
Oh my God.
This is amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is this?
Buffered.
I'm in South Jersey.
Wow.
I thought I saw lights
Dude,
on it or
what
something.
is that?
I have no idea what this is. I'm going in the backyard. This is incredible. Unidentified object.
I had a cigarette in my mouth.
Man, yeah, holy shit.
Holy smokes. Here in South Jersey, the sun is just setting.
And then I record 3
I thought
more
I
of
saw
them.
something. I couldn't see it. Completely silent, no sound whatsoever. At first, it looked red. When it was coming towards me, it looked like red, a red light. Then once it got past me, I couldn't see anything. Wow. And it's gone. Wow.
Recorded on my cell phone.
Here in South Jersey. Whoa. Robert Earl White, Order of Light. Please check it out. Man, that was cool. Thank you. Wow. UAP, UFO. Wow. What did I just see?
That was
Holy
I think that was
smokes.
a real UFO. That was definitely a real
Whew.
UFO.
It gets better. It gets better.
That stuff was crazy. Whoa.
And then like 40 seconds after.
Oh my God. I got another one.
Holy shit.
Robert Earl White, Order of Light. I got another one. It's the second one.
No. No.
It's an orb. It's like a ball. It looks steel. The second one.
Dude, that is
And then
so
the
strange.
focus
Second
in on it.
it
Hold
gets
on.
above
Hold
me,
on.
it messes up my
Holy.
camera
Oh my goodness.
twice.
Come
right
on,
there.
focus.
Yeah, dude, that's what happened to me. I had a orb sighting here in Pittsburgh, and like
Focus.
it messed up the whole camera. Yeah, it did.
Oh my
mine was
goodness.
still
Oh
I
no.
was like,
Yeah.
crazy.
It
Don't do
happens.
that. Yeah, it does happen. It's like they cause electrical problems or something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Oh no. What's going on?
I'm scrubbing my what the hell's going on with my camera
Yeah.
recording?
Oh my
I
goodness.
gotta get this.
I know that
Look.
exactly happened to me. But it knocked out my whole phone. I remember. He was like,
It like distorted my camera.
I was pissed.
Something went
Yeah.
wrong. Look at that.
Look at it, like
What?
morphing.
It's morphing shapes.
that is amazing.
Here in South Jersey, this is the second one.
And on
Oh
the
my
same
God.
path as
Oh
the
my
other.
goodness.
If they were balloons just randomly blown in the wind,
Two in
they
a
wouldn't
row.
have a
Yeah.
direct path.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you can tell these are real orbs.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And the next one, remember I said that it
Oh,
started off as
I
a
want to
red
see if
orb?
there's.
Yeah.
Look, this is how they look before they turn into a black sphere.
Here's another one.
I caught it.
A third
Oh,
one.
that's a ball of light. I see that.
Just like I said
You
in
see
the
it
beginning.
Change direction.
It starts off red.
Curve to the right.
It starts off as a red orb. What's that? What's that in the air? The black thing.
It was a
Oh,
spider.
that's part of the telephone pole. Okay.
It was a
Look.
spider.
Look at this. Oh my goodness, it's the third one. Oh my goodness.
That's insane.
Oh,
And look, the blur. Messing up my camera again.
oh my goodness. It's moving quick.
Look how squirrely it is.
Dude, that's amazing, man. That's like.
Oh my
holy shit.
goodness.
It's amazing you were able to get them this long too. You know, these are
Look.
really long.
What? What am I witnessing?
It just turned black.
Whoa! Holy shit, man!
What am I witnessing?
Yeah, Rob. While we're watching this, I'll just tell you the one I saw. I swear it was like 300 feet above the BP, and for mine it was
What?
like shapeshift.
There's three of them.
It was like pink and purple.
I caught three of
Oh,
them.
wow.
It's the sun's still setting. They're still light.
Yeah. That's
They
wild.
appear red and then they turn into
But you
black.
saw like an orb,
What?
you know?
Again.
Yeah,
color,
it was just like levitating up above the BP. It was like 300 feet
Come on,
above
focus.
the BP, and nobody was
Focus.
stopping to film
Again.
anything. It was just like, I was like, why isn't anybody stopping to see this? I was like, this is absolutely amazing. It was right when
Yeah.
that drone
Come on,
craze was going
focus.
on. Like
Yeah.
There it is.
the drone orb
What's
craze
going
in
on
November.
with focus?
And then I catch another one.
Oh, that's amazing.
As I'm recording that one that was red scooting away.
That's
There's-
the second time that the focus goes all out of whack when I'm trying to record these objects.
So yeah, I'm watching that
I'm
one.
here in South Jersey. It's Robert Earl White. This is incredible. Incredible.
Same path.
Oh my God, there's another one.
Oh,
There's another one. Oh my
Holy-
God. Oh my God. What is going on?
same path.
What are these? What are these?
That's not just
What are
something
these?
drifting along. They are on a deliberate path.
What are these?
And there was just the 4.
Holy smokes! This
Okay.
one is
All right. So there's a couple more of the nighttime orbs. I just paused it real quick, but yeah, that last one was nuts. That was something. You want me to hit play on this one?
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
There's only 2 more. These other ones are shorter, but here we go.
bright. Oh my God! Robert Earl White here in South Jersey.
Airplane to the right.
Oh my goodness! Look at this.
I love those laser pointers.
Look.
When I was at the conference this year, somebody
Oh
had
my
one of those.
goodness!
Those laser
Thank
pointers
you
are amazing.
guys. Holy
Yeah.
You can
smokes!
really
That's so
see
big.
the UFOs. You can
Oh,
really,
thank
you
you
know.
guys. Please come closer. Please, please, please come closer.
Dude, holy shit, the
Oh,
sky's
this is
full of
one of
them.
the closest ones I've ever had. Oh, come closer. Please, 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 please.
Wow. Dude, this is amazing. Someone said you might be on a
Oh
layer.
my goodness.
What do you think, Rob?
What did they say?
Robert Lucier in the chat, he said maybe you're on a ley line. Because you get a lot
Yeah.
of, you get a lot of
Hello,
There
guys.
is
I love
one
you.
that
Oh, it's beautiful.
runs
It's
through,
pink.
the one that goes
It's
from
pink.
like Washington D.C. to
Oh
New
my
York
God.
City.
I wish
Yeah,
you guys could
that's
see this with your own
that's
eyes.
my way.
Hello, guys. Oh, it's so close. Oh, it's so close. Please. Please come here. Please, 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 guys, come closer. You're so close.
But I've been seeing
I've never
UFOs my
seen
whole
you guys
life,
that
you know?
close.
Yeah, and for you guys that
Oh
don't
my
know
goodness,
Robert's
please
story, I'll
come
just
a
say
little
this while we're
closer,
watching
please,
this. Robert
please,
and
please.
Robert's mom Robert had a UFO
Please.
crash in his backyard.
Oh my
The
God.
1993 Lower Alloways Creek incident. You know, we've covered this many times. You know, it's and then his mother was in the hybridization program. She was an abductee. You know what I mean? Robert has a rich history in ufology.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
so he's been immersed in the scene for a long time.
I've never seen one of you. Oh, you're so beautiful.
And now, obviously, I'm good at catching UFOs. I'm curious, you know, well, obviously, we're pretty good at catching ghosts, too. So,
Yeah, you
and
are,
then
dude. You are.
eventually, I'm going to catch Bigfoot. I'm going to catch the Jersey Devil. I already recorded some sort of cryptid. That's a whole nother video we'll have to do sometime. That will be on Travel Channel eventually. Paranormal Caught on Camera. They're sharing it and interviewing me. That was something. But yeah, and look,
This
2
is amazing.
airplanes. Look at how little.
They're all up there. Or is some of those planes, or are those all?
No, those are 2 airplanes, and I'm
Okay.
recording those to show people what airplanes look like. See how tiny they are compared to that huge orb that was scooting, and they're 727s. You know.
Yeah.
I always try to record airplane. Like when I record a massive UFO, if there's an airplane in the sky, I like to record it for reference. So, like,
Derek
hey,
said the tree was lighting up purple. Is it because you're enhancing the video to get a better look? Is it like,
it's the night vision. It's IR. It sees in a different. It sees beyond the visible light spectrum. This camera does. Psionics. Now, this one I really like because, and that thing at the top, don't worry about that. Keep your eye on that. And there's clouds. Why I love this one is because you see it through the clouds. And I just thought that was really interesting.
Through the clouds. Wow. Wow.
That's amazing, dude. Holy shit.
Look how bright that is. Thank you. Whoa, look at it go through the freaky clouds. Wow.
I love how you're into it, you know? I would be too.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Look
You know,
at
it's
it.
changing colors, guys, and
Through
morphing.
the
You know,
clouds, you still can see it. Oh, wow. Wow.
That's exactly what I saw. Something like that. It was like
Yeah.
Wow. There it goes. Wow.
That's why I believed you when you were saying it, because as you're describing it, I'm like, bro, I've seen them. Now that's an airplane. 2 airplanes.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 airplanes. As you saw, those 2 airplanes look nothing like that object I
That's a
just
plane.
recorded.
Yeah.
Perfect reference. Those are
Planes.
airplanes.
Those are planes. What you just saw was not a plane. Wow. Holy smokes.
Yeah, but yeah, and I mean that was just a small handful. And all my personal YouTube channel, you can find, and you can exit out of that. Yep. But
Yeah.
yeah, but
Thank you
right
for
now,
showing us that, Rob. That was amazing, dude. That was I'm like, that was amazing.
just a few clips, and I have so many others that are just as crazy and mind blowing. But like I said, I've done everything I could. I've documented absolutely. I've tried my very best to provide as much evidence and information to the disclosure community. And I feel like I've done enough. And there's nothing more I have to say. There's nothing more for me to add. I've said my piece. No use of beating a dead horse. And
I
I'm
agree.
just going to go do what I love. And now it's time to, go into the paranormal world and document everything that's down here on the ground. Yeah, I've documented everything up there, but I want to document what is right next to us.
Yeah, I agree. You're good at it, man. You're really your first investigation proves that you're going into this, balls to the wall. It's you got amazing footage, man. I'm telling you, it's like
to be honest, we did not expect. I mean, Anthony knew the place was haunted, but I did not expect. Like I thought we would get some activity. And my wildest imagination, I could have not imagined capturing all the things we did. Like I've been on so many paranormal investigations. Like I said before in the past, I've never caught that amount of activity level documented. Just it was bananas. So yeah, everyone, if you want to, please check out Paranormal Unearthed. The new episode's up. We're hoping to have the next episode up sometime in the beginning of October. So it takes time. Anthony and we spend so much time going through all the footage because some of these things are so small. Like we would have the video done and we would just be watching the video and then we would notice something else. And then we'd have to remake the whole entire video again because we kept on finding evidence that we missed before, even in a clip we watched 50 times. We're like, how did we not hear? How did we not, just hours and hours of reviewing footage? Because honestly, I think a lot of people probably capture a lot of things, but they don't take the time to painfully watch something. It's painful. It takes hours and hours, like a 1 hour video to review it and review it right. It's going to take you 2 to 3 hours. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, this was amazing. Well, I guess that's it for tonight, guys. Everybody go and subscribe to Paranormal Unearthed and thank Robert for what he's been doing for the community, for his work in the UFO community. We want to thank you, Robert, and thank you for your work in the paranormal community. Yeah, dude, I consider you a really good friend. And they got merch. Are you guys selling merch too for your? You want to?
Well, these are custom. These are we all just got custom hoodies. Eventually, we will be selling merch, and we got the little skull with. Here, I'll get real across. Yep, little crow, a skull, Paranormal Unearthed on the front, and then on the back our little logo. Eventually, we will be making merchandise, and obviously, yours won't say Robert. We'll have a more custom design for all of our fans and friends and stuff like that. But we had to look cool, so when we're going to these investigations, we can all have cool little custom hoodies, and when we're out and about, we can be promoting it. So eventually we'll have a merch store. Right now we're just we'll get there. Right now we're just really focusing on the videos. All that stuff will come down the road. People need to know who we are before they want to start to buy a t-shirt, right? So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
we're putting our focus into our videos, and we know if we work really, really hard, and if we make something people really enjoy and love, in time, all those other things will come, and we're praying for it. We're working extremely hard. This project is probably, I've never been so in on something before, and but that that's what you got to do. Back when I was in a metal band and we got signed and all that, the amount of work we put into that to get signed, that's what we're putting in. This reminds me of those days, and it's a lot, except I'm a lot older now. So I'm like, whoa, this old man.
Dude, I'm 45 now. Yeah, I turned 45. I can't believe it, dude. It's like, I swear to God, I'm 45.
You don't look a day over 32.
No, thanks, man. That means a lot, dude. Like, I'll take.
You got a baby face.
No, thanks, man.
I look like Father Time, and I just turned 38. And I look like I'm 60.
You look real young, for real. Like,
I feel like Father Time.
I swear, once I got over 40 years old, it was harder to work out. You know what I mean? I didn't have that energy anymore. Like, I wish I still had that.
The rotator cuff. Click. Yeah.
I feel you, man. It's the best I can do now is go on long walks and jogs, and like, I do some push-ups.
Something.
Like,
that's great for your heart.
Yeah.
That's good. That's healthy.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, man. But it's been awesome, and thanks so much for having me on. It's been so nice to catch up, and I hope everyone enjoys Paranormal Unearthed, and hopefully we'll come back in the future and show some more evidence, right? And next time, bring Anthony and I, or have him on, and that would be cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
To hear his ghost stories, to hear his background, and
hell yeah, that would be amazing. I would love that. I would absolutely love that, man. You guys, but I'll just say, you got a spot on my show anytime you want it. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Anytime, seriously. And
I'm sure Anthony would love that. He was like, when I told him, I'm like, oh, Robert Khalil, typical Skeptic. He's like, oh, I love that guy. He's awesome. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm sure he would absolutely love to. Or in the future, you want both of us, or just him, or whatever. We're happy to come on and to show some of our paranormal evidence with everyone, and hopefully inspire you and your audience to ask those same questions we all have. What happens after this? We all of us have our own ideas and our own suspicions of what happens, but it's always nice to, have some physical evidence behind what so many already know. Yeah, I
agree, man. I agree. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got more shows tomorrow, and take care. Good night, everybody. Have a good night, and thanks, Rob.